all the way to Cancun to be part of this. This is my mission in life is to help people. I don't do this just for the monetary part of it. If it was just that, I would completely focus on one of my other businesses that is much better to be monetarily than this business. So I really, really appreciate you being here. It is, without you, I can't give back to people. And when I was 10 years old, my dad died. Some of you know that story. And at the age of 16, I told my mother, because my mom was always scared. It was constant. She didn't talk about being scared, but she was terrified constantly. Because she didn't know how to produce. She didn't know how to go out into the marketplace. She just knew how to protect what we had. And she was even worried about the ability to do that, but she had an obligation to protect and get us through. When I was 16 years old, I had 6 years of living in this fear, this constant, constant worry, which was reasonable for her to have this constant worry. She was trying to take care of us. But I saw somebody post last night on Twitter. So many of us are brought up poor and middle class. We end up adopting the mindsets of the poor and the middle class. And that's what I had adopted. And at the age of 16, you don't have to be 46 years old to be intelligent. You can be 16 and be intelligent. How many agree with that?
Yes.
Your kids at 15 and 12 and 17 years old, they got tremendous amounts of intelligence. There might be a reason why the 17 is starting to get so pushing back on everything. There might be an actual reason. Maybe these teenagers actually have a reason to push back on all this stuff they're being told. Don't do this, don't do that, stop doing that, you're doing this wrong. You can't do this, you gotta wait until you grow up. No wonder after a while, I was feeling that constantly. And finally I'm like, I gotta slap somebody down. I'm tired of taking this, man. And I told my mom, I said, when I grow up, I will never grow up and live like this. Now, keep in mind that I ate every day. I had food on my plate every day. We had a car. When I was 15 years old, we had a used car. We got a used car. There's a lot of people who never see a car in their lifetime. Okay? I had a roof over my head. We had air conditioning and heat. We never wanted for anything. Never. So there's every reason that I should be grateful. Would you agree with that? You understand the mindset? I should be completely grateful. There's people in India starving. There's people right in the town that I grew up in that were starving, that were hungry. So my mom would always use that on me. She would always lay down that one phrase, be grateful. I'm like, I am grateful, but I'm not going to grow up and be like this. Every time I walk out of a room, I got to turn off the lights. Every time you give me some food, I have to eat it all, whether I want to eat it or not. It's this scarcity mentality, and I didn't understand that it was scarcity. But I told her, I said, I will not grow up like this. One day, and I remember I was 16 years old, I remember exactly where I was at. I was in the kitchen of my house on 20th Street. I'm facing east. I'm at the second table at the dining room table, and I told my mom, when I grow up, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to get rich, and I'm going to help other people get rich. But the first thing I knew I had to do was I had to take care of me. I had to get my thing down. When I was 16 years old, that did not happen overnight. 25 years old, I was still broke. Okay? I got 9 years. In fact, it got worse. At 25, I was in better financial condition at 16 on a $20 allowance, living at my mom's house, than I was at 25 with an education. I had 5 years in college, accounting degree. I was supposedly, I'm in business now because I had a good degree. I had less money now than I'd ever had in my whole damn life. Okay? And in fact, the more I got a college education, the less money I seem to have. Now, I'm not saying college is wrong. I'm just saying it's not right for everybody. And a lot of people have college pushed on them as the way to go. How many were told you got to get an education? Well, you do need to get an education. But if you look at the real numbers, if you look at what's really happened for people that are going to get educations today, you got people going to colleges right now spending 6 years. Okay, 44% of all the people that go to college, 6 years, and they haven't graduated. The average cost of college today is $44,000. 6 years times 44. That means they've invested $260,000 in college, and at 6 years, they're still not out. 64% of all people in college don't finish in the first 4 years. They're still doing college. A gentleman asked me last night, he says, what do you think about college? He's like, I'm thinking about going to finish. I got 2 years, or I'm thinking about doing my business. Where's my man at? dude, you got to put a stake in the ground. The first thing I told him was, what do you think college is going to do for you? Do you think college is going to do something for you, and all of a sudden you get out, you get your certificate, and you got this freaking, it's going to somehow, what's going to happen? Now, you've been there 2 years, what happened? If nothing's happening, nothing's happening. Same thing in business, same thing in relationships. Look, you got to just look at the truth, not all the noise around you. What is the truth? Numbers don't lie. Are your numbers getting better or not? Is your relationship getting better or not? Okay? Do you have the time or not? The thing that I did with you last night was about getting honest. Get honest about the data. Sit down. Don't just talk about where you want to go. What do you believe right now? How many of you got a lot out of that assignment last night? Okay? That assignment basically was this. By the way, if you want to go to 10xseminar.com/gallery, you're going to see all these photos we're collecting. You can see your photo there. You can share it. You can tweet it. You'll see the share tags at the top. Again, all these things, these are things where you want to keep pushing. If I could be an example to anybody about anything to do, it's you want to keep pushing. I know for sure there's people in this audience that have asked yourself, dude, why is he doing this? Why is this guy doing this? Why is this guy tweeting? Okay? Some pretty boys out there. Right? But this is the kind of you guys at home, that have come here and watched this stream, this last stream. I really appreciate you doing this with your family. There were people all over the world last night cooking dinner and watching this on a computer. There's one guy, Giza in Orlando, watching this with his dog, and his dog has got his face in, and I wrote Giza, and I'm like, the dog didn't pay. So for all of you out there that are watching this tonight, that took the time on a Saturday night to say, you know what? I'm not going to do the beer tonight. I'm not going to do a movie tonight. I'm not just going to sit down and waste away watching TV. I'm going to actually consume some content that is valuable. If you want a 10x life, you've got to invest energy, resources, time, money into that 10x life. You have to literally say, is this important to me or not? This whole law of attraction thing, look, I know a lot of people sitting there doing the law of attraction. They're like, I'm going to attract it. Oh yeah, I'm going to bring it in. And they ain't. Because if it was that easy, folks, nobody would go to college. Nobody would wake up in the morning. Nobody would go to work. I would never dig a ditch. I wouldn't turn my gas on, my electricity on. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't feed my kids. I would stand in the mirror all day long, feed the kids. Love the wife. I don't even love her, just love the wife. I mean, I got to follow up with some action. Would you agree? The other thing with that whole concept about attraction is, which I agree that there is an attraction. Okay? But the problem with that whole philosophy is it doesn't dig into the stuff that you've agreed on, that you're sitting around walking around with, like money's